Hello Earthbound lovers, and welcome to another episode of Bosses of Earthbound. Today we may not be covering as much ground physically, but there's sure a lot of information packed into a small journey. So let's not get too scared as we climb down below the cemetery and eventually confront Mini Barf. Last time we defeated Boogie Tent, a being that would disguise itself as a circus tent in the hopes of killing us and presumably trapping us forever inside its bowels. But since we aren't anyone to mess with, we easily defeated the tent and in turn gained an unlikely weapon that is going to take down a killer threat. The group, that is now 3, when they first arrived in 3, we had no reason or explanation of why this town in particular was swarming with zombies. Well, it turns out that one of Gygas' top dogs, Master Belch, has through some sort of magic raised the zombies in this massive cemetery to keep anyone who might try and reach and destroy him out. Knowing that and now obtaining what turns out to be Master Belch's favorite treat, we must find our way past the zombie army, and more importantly and specifically the 2 zombies that are hanging around the entrance to the catacombs beneath the cemetery. Head to the main circus tent that's centered in town. Once there, begin talking to the people. They'll mention a need to capture the zombies and dance around ideas of how to cure the town. Speaking with them is enough to trigger the next game event. Walking around town, you'll receive a call from Apple Kid, who has a new invention in the works. It is similar to flypaper, but captures zombies instead of insects. Not sure how he knew to create such a thing, but he's the smart one, so let's leave that to him. A couple steps later, an escargot shows up dropping off your item. If you need to clear an inventory spot, do it before they show up or your game will explode into flames and you'll have to summon a witch doctor to break the curse. Either that or it'll go into your escargot express inventory. I can't remember which one, so either way, free up a slot. Once you have the zombie paper, go back into the tent and use it. Doesn't matter where, as long as you are inside the tent, it'll work. Then go take a nap at the hotel, watch a little video of the zombies heading inside. This is when Jeff will also repair any broken items if his level is high enough. When you exit the hotel, you can either go check out the zombies in the tent, some of them have some funny dialogue, or you can head to the northwest part of the map and go to the ladder that is no longer being guarded. Note that there are still enemies that can hurt you. It doesn't really make sense. All the zombies were brought to the tent, but there are still, overworld zombie enemies and all that. Once you descend the ladder, you are in the dungeon of Mini Barf. There's a series of rooms coming up that have a variety of zombie enemies, some you've seen on the surface. They include zombie dogs, zombies, no good flies, and zombie possessors. They're all bad and none of them are worth fighting. Seriously, there's no reason to grind in this part. You'll need all your strength. So you want to use the trick where you despawn enemies at the doorway, and make sure you go in either a barely guarded or a completely empty room. There's no need to really level up at this point, so don't even worry about it. In the first big room, you'll get a skip sandwich deluxe, continue up the second set of stairs, and it'll lead you to another big room. Again, despawn when needed. But also note that when you go back to despawn the enemies, they may appear in the hallway, like the steps area, so be careful. Once you get in the second room, open the casket, randomly laying in the middle of the floor, and you'll find a silver bracelet, which is clutch. Next is another set of stairs that typically doesn't have any enemies on them, and after that, your last room, your stairs that lead to the star of this video, Mini Barf. The Mini Barf appears as a small pile of red, violet puke. It is one of Master Belch's henchmen, and an extension one of Gygas' minions. He's the last line of defense between the catacombs and the Great Fruit Falls valley ahead. The slimy monster almost mistakes Ness and his company for allies due to the jar of fly honey, but then discovers that they are Belch's mortal enemies and attacks them. His dialogue is, "Did you have the fly honey?" Okay.
Did you have some fly honey? I consider you a friend, but actually, you're just a commoner. I am a mortal enemy of your kind.
What do you think? Does that sound that good? During the battle, its most annoying attack is Stinky Breath, which can inflict an entire party with uncontrollable crying. The Mini Barf can also immobilize a target with mucus or lower their stats with a terrible odor. PSI Fire is the best weapon against it. The fight isn't that difficult, but it can take time if you keep missing due to the Mini Barf's attack, like the uncontrollable crying. If you've reached the battle with relatively high HP from not getting into many battles, you should be in good shape. Keep your party healed. Once defeated, he'll mention that he was just wanted a little fly honey snack, and then evaporate into the great beyond. Climb up the ladder and end the scary part of the game. But don't celebrate yet. You'll have a fair amount of danger up ahead, but we'll get into that in the next video. And there you have it. A very minor, almost unthought about boss, but a necessary one and a nice little boost of experience points. Next time we will have to answer to Papa Bear, whom was one of Gygas' biggest baddies. He stinks, he's slimy, he's literal vomit. It's Master Belch. Alright, thanks guys for watching. Bit of a shorter episode, but that's okay. Next week we'll have a long one. So catch up on these past weeks by clicking the video on the left to get the whole playlist of all these boss videos, or watch some more of my Earthbound videos by clicking the video on the right. And as always, later days.